Where'd you go?
He's lying. Buzz ain't there.
Oh, hi, Buzz. Why don't you say hello to the guys over there? Hiya, fellas, to infinity and...
I have to talk about this, because if I don't, I will combust. In my almost 20 years of living, there has never been a single point where I have cared about the royal family. That has changed. Because Kate Middleton is basically missing, but not only is the palace not being honest about what's going on, they're trying to cover it up. So in case you're a little bit out of the loop, which I don't blame you, okay? This situation just keeps getting more confusing by the hour. I'm gonna give you guys a quick timeline of events as to why we've ended up where we've ended up. So, all of this mess begins on, hilariously, Christmas Day of 2023, where, in royal tradition, they walked to church. And I want you guys to take a closer look of Kate's hat and keep that in the back of your head, because later on in the video, that becomes incredibly important. Now, fast forward to January 17th, because we didn't really hear much of anything about Kate until this date. However, the Kensington Palace made an official statement on their website. Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales was admitted to hospital yesterday for planned abdominal surgery. The surgery was successful and it is expected that she will remain in hospital for 10 to 14 days before returning home to continue her recovery. Based on the current medical advice, she is unlikely to return to public duties until after Easter. Okay, so we have a reason as to why Kate hasn't been in the public eye. So what's the problem? Well, sit down and grab yourself a bucket of popcorn, because I'm about to tell you. On February 29th, news broke that Prince William's dropped out of his godfather's memorial service. Now, obviously, he doesn't owe anybody an explanation. However, this sparked concern among thousands of people, which is why memes began to spread like wildfire. From people saying that the reason she's been gone for 2 months is because she's recovering from her BBL surgery, all the way to making memes about Kate being spotted in Glasgow at the Willie's Chocolate Experience, which led to a spokesperson for the palace making an official statement to the New York Post, of all places, to reiterate what was already said in January, which didn't really help the situation at all. I'd say it kind of just made it worse. But this time, there's a weird energy behind the statement. Like, they're getting snappy, there's attitude. Kensington Palace made it clear in January the timeline of the princess's recovery, and we'd only be providing significant updates. That guidance stands.
What the hell?
Okay, like, calm down. Then, just a couple of days after that incident, TMZ broke the internet by releasing these pictures of Kate in the car with her mother. Now, the reason I say Kate in quotation marks is because that probably isn't Kate. Prior to her abdominal surgery, Kate Middleton had a mole above her lip, but in today's picture, it appears to have magically vanished. Is the royal family lying to us? Because yes, if you zoom into TMZ's picture of Kate in the car, there is no mole like there was above her lip on December 25th. Where'd it go? But hang on there, we're not done. She also has one on her lower lip as well. And not only is there no mole above her lip, there's also no mole under her lip either. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after abdominal surgery, your moles on your face don't disappear. But hey, I've never had abdominal surgery before, so what would I know? Another thing that really confused people was the fact that Kate is sitting in a car with a no smoking sticker on the front of it, and the sticker of the car, which is an Audi, still on the car. Which means it's a brand new car and they haven't peeled the sticker off. So that's just really strange. And then it just gets even worse because now we're on March 10th, which is Mother's Day in the UK. And my God, if you thought the picture that TMZ uploaded broke the internet, then this completely flipped the internet upside down. Because I have not been able to escape this picture anywhere I go. And there's so much conversation around this picture for very good reason. Because from a distance, this just looks like a regular family photo. But once you actually start looking a little more closely into the picture, there are red flags everywhere. Because if you zoom into the daughter's hand, her skirt is morphing into her cardigan. Since when can that happen in real life? Like, the cuff of her cardigan is being covered by a completely different pattern and material. But it doesn't end there, because if you look down at her skirt, the material is cutting into her brother's hand. What's going on there? I don't know, but that's completely unnatural. And then if you zoom into the hair between Kate and her daughter, it looks like it's morphing together. There's hair that's been cut out and it's blending into Kate's hair. That doesn't match Kate's color, and the daughter's hair is clearly down. So why are those strands going up? And then if you zoom in to the tiles on the stairs in the background, you can clearly tell that they've split apart. They're not together, they're parallel to each other. It's not a straight line like a stairwell should be. And then if you zoom into Kate's hand, where she's holding her son, it's the only thing in that picture that's blurring. It's the only thing in that picture that looks like it has any sort of motion, but yet they're completely still. They're posing for a picture. So why does it look like it's moving? Why is it blurry? That's not her hand. Now, if there's anybody watching this video right now who's thinking to themselves, oh, there's an easy, rational explanation as to what's going on here, I raise you this. Why does the window have all sorts of cuts in it? When have you ever seen a window that looks like that? It looks like it's glitching. It is unnatural for a window to look like that. So explain that to me. Do you care to explain to me why it looks like the daughter's knee is blending into the grass? Because her arm looks like it's supposed to be there. So why does it look like her knee isn't supposed to be there? Oh, Hayley, you're making a big deal over nothing. Okay, so why do their tiles look like this? This looks like the worst Photoshop job in the entire world. It looks like somebody put a picture on top of another picture, started erasing it, and then forgot to do the rest of the picture. Does anybody have an explanation as to how the floor is doing that? And I just find it strange how blurry Kate's hair looked in this picture. Because when you have hair, there are going to be loose strands. You can't get rid of those loose strands in pictures. And yet, it looks like they've added hair on top of her head through FaceApp. There's this weirdly sharp cut in the son's sweater that doesn't happen in any other part of his sweater. But most importantly, where the hell is her wedding ring? Why is Kate Middleton not wearing her wedding ring? Because if you look at the picture that her family took last Mother's Day, you can see as clear as day that she is wearing that big ass wedding ring. So why isn't she wearing it this year? Clearly her and Prince William are still together, so where's the ring?
But I've been doing some research and I really believe that this photo was taken back in November of 2023. Okay, so in November, Kate and her kids went to a baby bank and put together a charity video that dropped in December. Now, yeah, I know that the sweater in her picture was black, but stick with me because it's photoshopped. I think they changed around the clothes on the photo, but look at these boots and look at the pants. This is the exact sweater. It's from a company called Rice, I believe. And look at that neckline and look at this part right here. I've upped the exposure quite a lot so that you can see the ribbing better, but look how it lands on her like thigh area, the thickness of that belt of the ribbing, and then look at the turtleneck. Yes, I know a lot of turtlenecks look the same, but I do believe that this was photoshopped to be darker and it was just that cream sweater because they don't make it in another color. They make it in cream and in camel. Now let's look at the boots that she's wearing in this new photo. It's the same exact boots as this baby bank visit that she did with her kids. Let's talk about the little girl and what she's wearing. Look at the neckline on this sweater in this photo. And here she is in a very similar neckline on the same day from the baby bank. And you can see it even better here in the fashion blog from December where they were breaking down what everybody was wearing in this video. It's a very specific neckline. I mean, take a look. It looks like they just added another sweater on top of this. But it doesn't stop there because take a look at the shoes that her daughter was wearing that day. These are the same exact shoes and probably the same tights. The older kid was wearing this navy sweater and plaid shirt underneath at the baby bank. But it kind of looks to me in this photo like that's the same sweater. They just made it a little bit lighter, and then they didn't want you to notice the checkered collar, so they covered it with blue.
And in case you're watching this video and you're still thinking, oh my god, Hayley, you're overreacting, there is such a simple explanation for all of this. You're being ridiculous. I'm gonna stop you right there. Because some of the most trusted and reliable news sources in this entire world are refusing to distribute this picture to the world because they don't trust it. In a statement made by the Associated Press, they said this: kill notification, immediate action needed. Clients, please be advised that the following story has been killed and should no longer be used. The reason for killing the story? At closer inspection, it appears that the source has manipulated the image. No replacement photo will be sent. Please remove it from all platforms, including social, where it may still be visible. So the Associated Press is sending emails out to people saying that they can't trust this photo and that it needs to be removed immediately because it's been manipulated by the source. The source being the Kensington Palace. Another incredibly reliable news source, which is the AFP, released their own statement about the photo. Due to an editorial issue, this photo has been withdrawn from AFP systems and may no longer be used in any manner. Please immediately remove it from all of your online services. Stop using. So, do you see why people are losing their minds over this situation right now? But get this right, after the internet has collectively lost their minds over the fact that this picture that comes from the royal family has been AI generated, and the fact that the media doesn't trust this picture either, Kate took to the official royal family Twitter account to clear it up. And I say she very lightly because I don't think this is Kate at all. Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day. Do you really expect me to believe that Kate Middleton was just sitting at her laptop willy-nilly and was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this photo of my family and edit the fuck out of it. I'm gonna go into Adobe Photoshop and just have a little fun. Why not? Yes, I'm going to get my picture professionally taken by professional photographers and professional editors, but then ask them to give the picture to me so I can make highly unnecessary edits for the gram. This just proves how dumb they think that we are. Because people have discovered that if you take Kate's face from this cover of Vogue that she did a couple of years ago and line it up with the most recent picture she took for Mother's Day, it is the exact same picture. Pixel to pixel. Atom to atom. It is the exact same face. It is impossible to make the literal exact same expression at the exact same time, at the exact same angle in two completely different photos. Like, they don't blend well together because that's just her face. They blend well together because that's the exact same face. But then, coincidentally enough, just 10 hours ago, even though the Kensington Palace said that we wouldn't be seeing Kate until after Easter so that she can recover, we suddenly get yet another appearance. And I'm thinking it's just so that they can cool down the conspiracies and cool down the rumors. But this actually fueled the fire. How is that the only picture that's available of those two in that car? But you remember how I told you to keep the hat that she was wearing on Christmas Day in the back of your head? Well, I'm gonna need you to pull that image out for reference again. You wanna know why? Because that picture that they're insinuating comes from March 11th actually came from Christmas Day, her last public appearance. They used the Christmas Day photo. They erased her earring. Her hat brim can clearly be seen, as can the top be seen obscuring the rectangle in the interior of the car. Then they added some noise to make it harder to discern the edits. They are really bad at this. They have literally told the public that this is a recent picture, March 11th, when it's from Christmas Day of 2023. And they want me to believe that there's nothing deeper going on here? Anyways, guys, I'm completely obsessed with this. And I know that this is a really random video coming from me, but I needed to talk about it. It was suffocating me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Mwah. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!